Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here in Buffalo, New York, and we're headed to the apple orchard.
Welcome to the farm this morning, and anytime you have questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them.
Today we started off at the apple orchard and we learned a lot of things about the maturing process of the apples. We found out that all apples have a different growing and maturing cycle.
All of you have asked how we can tell when the apples are ripe. So what I want to do to start with, this is a refractometer that we can measure the sugar that's in the apple, which again is a measure of the sweetness of the apple and a measure of the maturity.
Ahoy there!
Do you take a sample then of each tree, apple in each tree, and then that's how, or is it?
What we do is I just walk in and randomly pick 10 apples, do a pressure test, do a starch test, do a brick test to get a gauge as to where individual varieties are from a maturity standpoint. You want to take a walk through some of the orchards and go over where they're picking?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Is there a learning process that they have to go through to know which of the apples to pick?
We have food safety seminars, we have videos both in Spanish and English.
See how green the background color is versus the creamy yellow?
So this would be ideal.
That's a very desirable apple.
And I think in my mind, I probably thought that they just picked them all at one time. Maybe they all got ripe simultaneously, so I learned a lot about apples.
We were able then to go to the packaging facility that McDonald's uses for their apples. We got to see both where the apples come in for short-term storage and then reshipment, and then they also got to go into the section where they do long-term storage.
This is one of the controlled atmosphere rooms. When this room is full of bins of apples, that door is bolted onto the room. The room is then airtight. We separate out the nitrogen from the air. We use that to flush the rooms with to bring it down to about 2% oxygen. That essentially puts the apple to sleep. We're going to go through the packing line now and we'll try to explain everything.
Within this bin, there might be 7 or 8 different sizes of product. McDonald's has a real defined product specification for color, for size, for eating characteristics. And as we start to go down the packing line, we'll see the whole grading, sorting process where McDonald's specifications are met.
The bin is actually submerged and the apples float out. The flume actually just kind of S-curve around. It comes up an inspection area down here. Take out any of the gross defects. As the apple comes off the inspection roller, this is a camera box here. That's what's doing our color sorting. So this is pretty much the end of what happens. So we want to thank you all for coming. Hopefully it's given you a little better perspective of what goes into getting apples into the store.
Well, we're done here today. We've learned a ton of information. I'm very excited about being able to visit Missa Bay tomorrow.
It's day 2 and we're here at Missa Bay to see the apples being prepared and packaged.
Today you're in our house and I wanted to welcome you here. You'll get to see a bunch of our people, real live associates that are producing a product for you guys that I think is stellar, can meet to anybody's expectation out there.
What we'll do is when the product comes in, we'll unload the truck and we'll grab from 16 to 20 different samples. We'll start to inspect for color, for size, for pressure, and for bricks.
From the time that the produce came in, it was tested, it was measured, and a lot of the testing was duplicated. These are the same things that they tested for out on the farm. You know, I guess it's a second measure of making sure that the produce met the specifications that McDonald's was looking for.
That really concludes the inbound inspection process at Missa Bay. Now you guys are going to get ready to take a tour of the facility.
Here we go. You can put your jacket on now. Well, that's about a meager 35, 36 degrees in there. This is a totally automated system, and it weighs each and every component and drops the product gently through different layers all the way down till it gets into the container.
It was fun to see how they took the apples from the time they came into the back all the way to the packaging process, the way they peel and core. It's a very refined process.
I can't believe how clean it is in there. I mean, just sanitized and amazing.
I was also impressed with the place where they processed the grapes. They were handpicking the grapes from the stem.
The only way we know how to get that grape off and make it live through the system is we learn how to twist that grape.
And then it's rinsed not once but twice. It's dried and packaged from there.
Well, welcome back. Ron and I are going to talk to you about how we evaluate apple dippers.
The focus on quality is just relentless. McDonald's definitely has high requirements for the apples.
Crispness is good. You hear the sound. You're using your sense of sound. And juiciness was great on this sample.
Well, we're finally done with our Missa Bay tour, and we learned a lot, and now we're on our way to the Constitution Center for dinner.
What you've learned over these past 3 trips has been more than many people see in the system. And you've been honest. You've told us what you really thought and real good observations and so engaged. And just like you learned it's real beef, it's real apples, you know, this is the real McDonald's. This is what we do every day, and I just wanted to thank you and hope we can continue the relationship because we've learned a lot, and I'm sure we can learn a little bit more as we go along.
I'm very happy and honored to have been a part of this experience and to have been selected with the other moms that are in the program, and I'm excited to relay this information to all the other moms that are going to be reading the website.
It's taught me a great deal about nutrition, and it's really empowered me to move forward and become an educational vehicle for other moms across the country.
It's just very comforting for me to know that when my kids go to McDonald's, or the whole family goes to McDonald's, that we're actually eating quality food.
I learned not only about McDonald's food, but just food in general. I think that this is going to be very valuable to me as a mother, bringing these important lessons home to my children.
I really think the public needs to know you can't be a nutritional expert, but you can be somebody that has informed choices, and you can be the person that shows other people how to make those informed choices. It's been a great experience. I really have enjoyed it, and I look forward to the future of McDonald's.